Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of Double Digit Angler Podcast. I believe this is episode 23. We're going to change the background here for our live viewers. And we have a special guest by the name of Dave Nunes. And I'm excited to bring him on and get to know him because I actually haven't met him physically. And to give you a clue, I might be participating in one of his events. Not too sure, but I will let you guys know on Instagram. But if you guys have some time, follow my Instagram, Double Digit Angler, or my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions at all about the whole kayak community in California, feel free to comment on anything. But this episode is brought to you by Serious Power Z Pro Lithium. For serious anglers. And, you know, one of the best things about our batteries is that it has Bluetooth technology and we have 8-year warranty and a whole bunch of things. But it's pretty much the deal. And there's a lot of great batteries out there, but yeah, Z Pro is the deal. Anyways, I put a link in the description below if you guys are curious about that. Let's go ahead and bring on Dave Nunes himself.
What's going on?
What up?
What's up? Hey, hold on. Virtual fist bump. We haven't met physically.
What you got here? I'll make the sound effect.
There we go.
Boom. We got Michael Craig in the house. What up, Michael? So, tell me a little bit about yourself, Dave. I know that we haven't personally chatted at all, and I use this podcast to like get to know every one of my guests on the show, and this is a way for me to personally network with not just kayak anglers around the nation, but tournament directors and so on. So,
absolutely,
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Central California, over here in Turlock. I started kayak fishing early 2018. I was introduced by a friend at work. I was trying to get out of the street racing scene here.
Oh man! Oh so no!
I wanted to, get out of the trouble and find it. I've always been interested in fishing. So
wait, before you move on to fishing, tell me about that street racing. What kind of car? What was your car?
I've had multiple cars. I've had LS Swap, Fox bodies. I've had 4th gen Camaros, Trans Ams, nitrous, supercharged Z06s, you name it.
Did you try drifting or no?
I've done drifting. I've actually done ride-alongs with Sabu Jimenez, the crazy Swede.
Yeah.
I actually was down there at Long Beach, did ride-alongs with him. Reese Millen, Von Ginton Jr.
Oh yeah. He was in the Mustang for a while, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go down to Long Beach when they had Formula D down there during the beginning of the season.
Oh, that's cool.
We'd party at Club Smooth down there, downtown Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So done the drifting. That was my only time I've gotten an accident. It was a drifting incident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So done that. And then, I was in the car scenes, raced at the track a lot, a little bit on the, the streets, a little street outlaw action going on. A few of my buddies are on the show. So decided to step away from that, be a little bit more responsible and act a little bit more adult, I guess you could say.
So we're like spend more money in a better way.
Well, right? So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to step away from cars. I'm going to save a little money. I'm going to try this fishing thing out. And my buddy's like, you should try kayak fishing. It saves money on buying a boat. Oh, I don't know. What are we at? 5-6 years later? I feel like I'm still spending the same amount of money that I was on cars.
Yeah,
but it's fun. It's fun. So I came along kayak fishing, like I said, in 2018. I was
Mm-hmm.
introduced by my friend Brian at
Mm-hmm.
work. I'm one of those, when I take something on new, I try to like get on it quick and figure out what it is. He
Quick
kind
to
of
the
stepped
pedal,
away
huh?
stepped
Yeah.
away from me a little bit. Said I took it a little bit too competitive, too fast.
Yeah.
I was doing tournaments like my second, third month in of kayak fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the Motherload Kayak Angler series with Steve
Yeah.
Melander.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my first, I'm going to say my first 6 months, I probably went through 5 kayaks. I started with the Lifetime Tamarack. That was the first one. I think that's a lot of people's first time kayaks right there.
Yeah.
Went to a Big Fish 105 or 120.
Mm-hmm.
Did a Vibe kayak, and then I got into the natives, and then I got into the Blue Sky 360s, and then eventually got into the Hobies. So
What are you riding right now?
actually, currently, I'm not riding nothing.
Oh, okay.
I just sold my Ike Edition 360. I sold it to Chris Nelson up north. He just won, well, about a month ago. He won the Folsom Yakka Bass tournament.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So,
Chris
and he
Nelson.
won
Does he
that.
have a YouTube channel?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
And that was his first tournament in my old kayak, and he won. So I was
Oh,
like, oh,
really?
yeah. So that
Dang.
was pretty cool.
Did you text him right away? Like, hey, congratulations. By the way, that was
Well,
partly
I
because it was my kayak.
when he bought my kayak, he mentioned that he's probably going to be fishing the tournament still in his native because he didn't know if he
Yeah.
was going to set up the Hobie in time.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize until after I seen Chris won, and I was like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I seen this video that he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the first time out on it, pre-fishing, and he
Mhm.
ended up winning in it. I was like, oh, good for him. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
You should feel good about that too. You sold him a good boat and he won out of it, you know?
it's all that good juju.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So
but
where
yeah,
did
go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, I've Dan from Headwaters Kayak when he
Mhm.
had a shop in Lodi, good guy. He got me set up with a bunch of kayaks. I went through a lot of kayaks during that time when he still had his
Yeah.
shop, and we did a video together on the Blue Sky versus the Native Titan. I think that video got over 200,000 hits when it
Yep.
first came out. So, but and then dealt a lot with Brian up at Headwaters up in Reading. He's
Mhm.
treated me good. So
Yeah, for sure. Where did you cut your where did you cut your teeth in fishing?
same time I took on kayak fishing,
Oh, okay. And how long ago was that?
2018.
2018. And where was that all in the valley?
Yeah, I would go over to like Don Pedro,
Yeah.
McClure, a lot of the lakes that like John Myers fishes around here, Steve
Mhm.
Melander. They
Yeah.
show me the ways. Ryan Cook with Ryan Cook Fishing.
Mhm.
He's a guide up here. He's good friends with Johnny, good friends with Steve. They're just all a good group of guys.
Yeah.
I met Steve um, when we met up. It's kind of like crazy. I did one of his fishing tournaments or getting ready to,
Mhm.
and we ended up meeting over at Kelsey Bass Ranch when Kelsey was still open. And he was like, hey, does your father own a fitness club in Los Banos? And I was like, yeah, he did. Like he's in Dos Palos now with this club.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was there. He goes, I used to work out at your dad's club back in the early 90s and
Mhm.
worked out there for years. And I know your dad, and your dad knows my dad. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like small world.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's a real good guy.
Yeah. You said Melander, right?
Yeah. He,
Yeah, I met Melander on the Delta, and he's the one that built that website of all
yeah.
the tournament schedules, right?
Mhm.
And I referred to that. I remember referring to that tournament schedule like almost every other week,
Yeah.
just so there's like a central hub to let everybody know what's going on every single month, every single week.
Yeah.
I love that idea. That was cool.
Now he's good. He's a good ambassador for the community.
Yeah.
Um, and then he didn't step away from Mother Kayak Angler. Wild West Bass Trail brought
Mm-hmm.
on their kayak series, and he stepped on as their director for almost 2 years, and then Tim
Mm-hmm.
took over. So
Okay.
yeah,
Where's he at right now? Where's Steve
uh, he's
Nylander at?
he's busy. He's busy. He's in the medical industry. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he just, and especially like when the pandemic hit, he didn't really have a lot of time to fish. Poor
Oh, okay.
guy, he was just him
Yeah.
and Mumu. Him and Mumu are good friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both in the medical industry, and they were just busy.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see. So, all right, man. California Slay Nation. All of a sudden, it just popped off. My homie Chris Cabral. I don't know if you know Chris. You know
I
Chris
hate.
Cabral, right?
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude. He
Real good
rigs
dude.
up boats. He's a sincere guy.
Yeah.
I love him. What was the true motive about bringing on Slay Nation out here in the West Coast?
I was reached out by because I fished the Slay Nation that was here in California. It was the small vessel series,
Mm-hmm.
and Jacob Bueno, he ran that for the past 4 years, and we would only maybe have 2 kayaks a season that were
Yeah.
entered because they didn't like going up against motorized boats and stuff like that. And then he eventually he stepped away this last season. He was making moves with his work. He was getting promoted. He was buying a new house, so he was making a move. He
Yeah.
was just on the bigger and better things. So Slay Nation was stepping away from
Mm-hmm.
California because they couldn't find a director. So I had a few anglers reach out to me and ask if I would be interested in running the Slay Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I busy with work, got a lot of things going on, but I'm always, you know, if people reach out to me and there's a want, and if I could accommodate and make it happen, I'll try. So I looked into it, seen that, you know what, I think I can make this work. Um, had a meeting with Frankie Prolone with Slay Nation, the and him and Slay Ray. Um, the meeting went really good, and yeah, they said, you know what, let's bring you on as a director for California. And the original thing was I was coming on as a kayak director, and then there was talks about uh, let's also bring on the small vessel series, and so I brought that on also, but we just I wasn't getting enough participation. Um, I don't know if the small vessel guys felt confident in me. I got some messaging on the backside
Mm-hmm.
and said that um, entry fees were going to be too low for them. Um, Previous director ran it better, and I was like, well, I haven't even technically started the season. How do you
Yeah.
know how I'm going to run it? So I just canceled the small vessel series, and I paid my attention all to the kayak series. And
Okay.
then I was hearing outside noise that, oh, you know, you'd be happy if you get 20, 25 anglers signed up for your season.
Yeah.
And here we are today, May 25th. We're sitting at 88 anglers and counting.
Yeah. What did you get on your last one over at Don Pedro?
Don Pedro, we had 49 registered
Yeah.
anglers,
Good for
and
you.
every tournament so far, um, it's been picking up.
Yeah.
McClure, it was low 30s. Millerton was about mid 30s.
I mean,
Uh,
to be fair though, the weather was bad
oh,
over
oh,
at
well,
McClure.
we talked on McClure.
Yeah.
You're on your
Yeah.
way, and the weather was horrible.
Yeah.
You know,
And you refunded me,
yeah,
and that was cool. That was
yeah,
cool of you to reach out. I mean, it took a week to refund me, but
yeah,
it's all understood, even reaching out to your anglers and and have some sort of like consideration for those anglers through that
yeah,
bad weather. That's awesome.
yeah,
I mean, it was like what, $5 or $6, but that's still, that
yeah,
for that effort of five
yeah.
or $6, it goes a long ways.
Yeah.
And good for you, man. It's slowly growing. You said 35, and then your
Yeah.
biggest number at Don Pedro was 49, right?
49. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, my whole thing is I look, for the anglers, like I
Hmm.
mentioned, we're for the anglers, by the anglers. That's how I kind of
Hmm.
look at our circuit. We're, a club, we're a brotherhood. Um, we're not that pro type circuit,
Yeah.
but we do get those pro type anglers to our circuit. What draws them to us, I can't speak for them.
Hmm.
I just try to make it the best experience
Hmm.
possible, to the best of my abilities that I can, and that I
For
can
sure.
provide for my anglers.
Yeah.
I try to make it run as efficient as possible, as smooth. Um, it's just I was I was in their shoes,
Yeah.
so I know, from experience, like, what, I didn't like how this was done before at some tournaments, and then
Can
again,
you dig deeper into that? Like, what are kind of some of the things, elaborate, like, that you didn't see in other tournaments that you really wanted to change with your trail series?
for example, like, our pre-fishing.
Hmm.
My pre-fishing rules are you could pre-fish up to the night before sunset.
Hmm.
And the reason being is not all my anglers have the time and capability to leave just on weekends to go out and fish.
Hmm.
They might have a day off during the week where they could leave. Um, they can't take time off a couple days before the tournament and spend a few days at the lake before the tournament. Um, so I always tell them my whole thing on pre-fishing is you could pre-fish that lake up to um, sunset the night before, and then also just a little honor code is the week leading up to it you can't fish it from a bass boat. You need to be in your kayak, but a week prior to that and back, you could go out with some buddies on a boat, and pre-fish, because the way I look at it is fishing conditions are going to change daily. So them
Okay.
fishing out on a boat a week or two prior, I don't see it gonna be affecting their pre-fishing.
I kind of like that rule too, the sunset before the tournament, because, like, let's say it's the angler's choice. If they want to work hard all the way up to 7 p.m., let the guy do it.
Yeah,
From sun up to sundown, let the guy fish. If he wants to go night fishing,
yeah.
let him go night fishing and practice
Well,
whatever the
and
you
and
know.
that's my whole thing is, like I said, a lot of these anglers are blue collar anglers. They
Yeah.
don't do this for a living. So
Hmm.
I want them to enjoy the water while they're out there.
Yeah.
If it's pre-fishing or they're just
Right.
maybe just out there just enjoying being out on the water. But if I
Yeah.
could give them that full time experience, let's do it.
Yeah. Exactly. And it doesn't have there that extra rule doesn't have to be enforced too.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, okay, what time? Like, I have a lot of anglers, and including myself, asking like, "Oh, what time do we need to be off the water the day before official
yeah,
tournament day?" Like, now you don't even really have to think about it. You could just be like, "It's just sunset."
yeah.
You know, that's it.
and I
Period.
and I try to make some of my deadlines, registrations, all pretty much set the same months.
Hmm.
Um, like the monthlies, everyone knows by the 5th of the month, by 7 o'clock is the deadline.
Hmm.
The registrations for live events um, is the day before by 7 o'clock, and so now they know. So now they don't. They're kind of getting used to it, and they don't have to ask. At first it's a new
Yeah.
series, they don't know. Now they know. Like, oh,
Hmm.
I need to sign up for that live tournament here in a couple of days. I have until
Yeah.
the day before by 7, and they know it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good on responding back to people when they message me. I try to give them as much information as I can,
Right.
and I always tell them if you need anything, let me know.
Where can they find all the details? Like, let's say if they want to sign up, they want to know what's check-in time, what's checkout time, what's the last day to register, where's the
Most of the
yeah.
information for tournaments are on the Tourney X.
Okay.
And then, if they want to get in detail on rules on our
Yeah.
Facebook group page on the California Slay Nation, we have we have our file page on there so they could skim
Okay.
through the rules. There's going to be a little revision on those coming here soon. Nothing major.
So if they
So
want to sign up, know almost everything they need to know about the event, they could just find that on Turning X.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
And then my
Cool.
email's on there. I've had guys reach out after they sign up. And
Hmm.
the cool thing is now with some of these circuits here in California, especially up north that have just ended, they just had their TOCs and their
Hmm.
qualifiers. So some of those are done. And some guys are like, well, I still want to fish.
Yeah.
California Slay Nation, our membership is open all year.
Hmm.
And as of May 1st, uh, our membership deadline for the jerseys was May 1st, and that was the $60 membership fee. But you
Hmm.
can still sign up now, and it's $45 for a membership for the rest of the season.
Hmm.
So if anybody's out there interested, and we have coming up June 11th, we have New Maloney's. July 15th, we have Salt Spring Valley Reservoir.
Hmm.
So if they want to sign up for those, and we have our monthly events. We have the June monthly coming up here soon to sign up for, and then starting
Yeah.
July, we're going to have a striper monthly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that will be running until December. That each month we'll have a striper monthly event also.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
So is Slay Nation your first time tournament directing?
Yes.
What
So
is your true motivation? Was it the anglers wanting you to be a TD, or what was? Please
that
elaborate your motivation in being a tournament director.
that and then the main thing is just I'd like to see the anglers just have the most opportunities they can. So
Hmm.
if I was able to start California Slay Nation and we signed up only 20 people, but that's 20 anglers that have more opportunities to fish, so
Yeah.
be it. And I'm happy I could provide those opportunities.
So your motivation is strictly for the angler. It's like if they
Yeah,
want, if they need another tournament director out there to create another series and opportunities, that's your motivation, pretty
yeah.
much. Right on.
And I'll release a little bit of this juice right now.
Hmm.
2024 California Slay Nation is going to have 3 regions. We're going to have a
Okay.
Northern California region, we're going to have a Central California region, and we're going to have a Southern California region. And each region is going to have a minimum of 3 tournaments on their schedule.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So what we're doing there is I see
Oh,
my
well,
roster.
quickly,
Go ahead.
sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
go
We
ahead.
have Southeast Georgia kayak bass fishing in the house, and he's just asking, does Slay Nation have a southern event?
Slay Nation has multiple state circuits. You would have to go
Hmm.
on their webpage at slaynationtournamentfishing.com. Check to see if your state has a circuit. It's not necessarily going to probably be kayak. It could be a small vessel, but if it's small vessel, they do allow kayaks and canoes and john boats, or they
Hmm.
may just be just a kayak series over there.
Yep. Yep.
So the South, there are some Slay Nation circuits over in the South, I believe.
That's a
So
good question. Okay, so go ahead, elaborate what you're saying about the juice.
with those regions, what I was looking at was, because right now with 88 anglers, you
Yeah.
know, I could see on my roster where these anglers are from. And
Copy.
now I could get a bigger picture. And then I've been reached out by some from SoCal, like, hey, how come you don't put lakes on down here? And I've told people that's on me because we started late, and dealing with to get lakes down in SoCal on the schedule is a little bit more difficult. But I see how it is now, and I'm getting ready for next year to work that schedule and put a southern.
I like that. I like that, Dave. You know why? Is because you're not splitting up. You're not splitting up between NorCal and SoCal. And someone has to do it in
Yeah,
our kayak community because I feel like there is a split. There's
there
the
is.
SoCal guys and then there's the NorCal
Well,
guys.
I'm not going to put circuits on blast, but
Yeah.
this is where, as me
Yeah.
outside of the bubble looking in as a
Yeah.
previous kayak angler,
Yeah.
tournament angler, is when I'm in this just even just the central region, Central California, and a circuit, all their lakes for the season are North California.
Hmm.
How do you draw Central and then Southern California anglers up to your circuit and then call yourself a California kayak circuit.
Right, right, right,
So
right.
this year I had to put what I could on the table for my anglers, what was
Yeah.
available, due to the time restrict. That we came on late.
All right.
But looking forward, like I said, the Northern California region, that
Mm-hmm.
will probably, the borderlines aren't really drawn out yet, but it'll probably be from Sacramento and north, and then from
Right. Your
Sacramento,
Clear Lake,
yeah,
Sonoma, Berryessa, and the Delta or
Shasta,
something.
Oroville, Trinity,
Yeah. Right.
Bullards. There'll be
And
all
then
those
everything
opportunities.
under is gonna be what, like
Sacramento to about Bakersfield would be the central region,
mm-hmm.
and then below Bakersfield down to San Diego will be the SoCal region.
Right. Right.
So, and then I'm going to put a minimum 3 lakes per region on those schedules. And now that gives the people that, like this year they were thinking about, well, I would have signed up for Slay Nation, but if I'm a SoCal angler, but all their lakes, their closest ones, Lake Nacimiento, and that's still a couple hour drives for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the southern region, they could just concentrate on southern lakes and don't have to travel as far and still enjoy the tournament fishing. And
Mm-hmm.
then the same thing with each region. And then
Yeah.
with the membership includes all 3 of those regions. So they'll be able to fish all tournaments that they want because that membership is
Right.
for all 3 regions.
Right.
So,
And I get it because, I've tried out pretty much everything there's to try out, except for California Bass Nation, Wild West. I've drove up to the last 3 Yakka Bass
yeah.
events. I've done KBF and American Bass up there. I've done SoCal Kayak Anglers and American Bass down here. So it's, there has to be, a good time between NorCal. It's not required, but I could see the difference between SoCal and NorCal.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and to be perfectly honest, there's clicks in kayak bass fishing,
Oh,
and there's politics and everything involved. But
absolutely.
to see you actually build something from the start and start from scratch and build something from SoCal to NorCal, that's terrific. And I hope your endeavors,
And
grow to your expectations.
let me throw this out there for the little pros for
Yeah.
that may kind of talk down on Slay Nation a little bit,
Hmm.
that we don't have the premier. Slay Nation's also having, or this is for California
Yeah.
and mainly for the West Coast. Slay Nation, the California Slay Nation is going to have an elite series where it'll be
Hmm.
open events, no membership required. And we already are looking into Idaho, Utah, Oregon, and then obviously a few California and Arizona lakes. So
What is the Elite Series? Oh, you're talking about like almost like a Hobie
absolutely,
BOS or Bassmaster,
yeah,
and
kind kind of
okay,
kind of mimicking a Hobie
but on
Open
the
Series
Western region.
on the Western region. I
Okay.
feel like I feel like you know the East Coast has their thing going, and
Ah,
they have their thing going, and it's great.
yeah,
The Western states don't get no respect. I feel like, and the
yeah.
people that like to fish that type of atmosphere,
Hmm.
we're going to try to provide it next year.
Yeah, so it's not a 23-hour drive to Texas
Yeah,
or
you
25
know
hour to
what
or
most
30
people,
hour to
yeah,
Kentucky.
I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
people realize on the East Coast is our
Mhm.
California anglers, especially like you guys down in SoCal. If you guys want to come fish a tournament like at Don Pedro or McClure, something
Mhm.
like that, and that's just Central California, that's a 6 to 7 hour drive for you guys. And then when the
Yeah.
East Coast people hear that, they're like, "Oh my gosh, 6 7 hours, we could drive through 3 states." It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and my anglers are doing that and still in California when they're traveling.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I've done that all.
Yeah.
It's tiring, I just told you I participated in the last 3 Yakabasses,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of work traveling all the way up there, booking
Yeah.
the campgrounds or an Airbnb, divvying it up, trying to make it fit in the financials with a buddy of mine, like for instance, Don Rochi. He's been my traveling partner, not my traveling partner, but my Airbnb and campsite partner. And it's it takes a lot. It takes a
Yeah,
lot, and that's why I respect any angler that travels the distance to try to achieve the dream of winning one of these.
yeah.
So that's excellent news. I'm glad that you're starting out that elite series, more of kind of like a open series
It opened. Yeah,
amongst the whole entire states of the West Coast.
yeah.
Do you have any juice of like what lakes they're gonna be at possibly? But I'm thinking Havasu is definitely gonna be on there as a West Coast lake, right? Because it's a premier lake,
That's in the
possibly.
top. That's in the tops.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And maybe
So
Clear Lake because it's on a comeback, and it seems like you have that leads me to my next topic is your TOC is at Clear Lake now, right?
correct.
And your opens at Clear Lake,
Yeah. So
right?
what
And yeah.
what we have going on is our best of the West TOC is October 28th and 29th.
Mhm.
And from California Slay Nation, we'll be sending our top 20 Angler of the Year point contenders to that. And
Mhm.
then I'm opening the qualifying invite to every fishing circuit. I said the West Coast, but I've actually gotten some interest from people back on the East Coast that were willing to fly out and rent a kayak and fish. I'm not going to mention their names. Um, but if you're in their top 10 of their fishing clubs, you'll get a qualifying invite to go ahead and come out to the TOC. And then people that can't meet their top 10
Mhm.
Angler of the Year points or haven't qualified, there's basically a last ditch effort open the day before at Clear Lake. And it's going to be fished just like a regular tournament. So the
Mhm.
top three people could get the winnings just like a regular tournament.
Mhm.
But the top 15 will get qualifying invites to go into the next day to the TOC, and they could register that night with me, and then they could stay and fish that 2 day TOC.
Oh wow! So
Yeah,
if they're on the juice for the open, then they could fish. Was it a second or third day for the TOC?
yeah.
Wait, so is the
So no,
TOC a
so
1 day event or 2 day event?
the TOC is a 2 day event.
Oh,
The
okay.
open the open qualifier is on that
Yeah.
Friday, and
Oh,
that
so it's your pre-fish for
you
the. I mean,
you
it could be someone that's qualified already that wants
yeah,
to fish the
and
open.
then fish it because it's
Yeah.
going to pay out just like a regular tournament.
Right.
But the top 15, if you're trying to get qualified,
Right.
like that's going to be your last ditch effort to try to get into the TOC.
That's interesting.
If you place in the top
Yeah.
15, I'm going to open up the registrations for those 15 people if they haven't qualified and they end up doing that on the top
Yeah.
15, they could register that night and get ready for the next morning.
That's very interesting because you can have to almost treat it like a 3 day if you find something
It's
really
almost like
well.
the NBA. It's a play-in,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
you could win your way in by
Yeah.
placing in the top 15.
Oh, cool. That's
So,
interesting.
and then if
I
you
might
do win
check
that
that
day,
out.
if you do win that day, you could win the winnings of that day. And
Mhm.
then if you end up winning the TOC based on 150 anglers, first place is going to get $10,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
For 150 anglers.
for 150 anglers.
Right. Right.
So
Um, we have a question on one of our viewers is Maxley's asking. So for the Elite Series, is it gonna be AOY points?
there will be AOY points too to present Angler of the Year.
Okay. Is the Angler of Year gonna win anything at
That
all?
for the Elite Series, we're working on that right now. What that
Okay.
package is going to be.
Okay.
So for the TOC, well, for our California Slay Nation, this is their Angler of the Year trophy right here.
Sweet.
So
Very
that's
sparkly.
that's their Angler of the Year, and then the TOC winner will get that too. So they'll have the bragging rights for the best of the West.
Nice.
So
You better strap those down on some stickies, man. Earthquake, man. It's
well,
gonna shake and bring those down.
they got some weight to them. So
Let me see if I have any more questions in the comment. I think Joshua Williams wants to be shouted out, and he was saying the elite should be allowed to have live scope, but any of your other events they shouldn't use live scope.
Well, I'll release this too next year. One of the open events, one of the fun tournaments, is going to be a no electronics tournament.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what event is this?
We're figuring out the date in the lake, but it will be a no electronic tournament. That's no fish finders.
I mean, then you should just make it on the Delta, and then you should just say frogs only or something. You know?
No, because if you have to do it human powered, no motorized
No
kayaks,
motor?
no motors.
Oh, so it's just no electronics, period.
Yeah, take it old school a little bit, and then the skilled of the skilled should, come through a little bit.
Our Maxley is asking. Maxley is asking, is GoPros allowed since they're electronics?
On the GoPros would be fine. It's just no fish finders, and no motor. No trolling motors, no stern mount motors. So
Joshua Williams runs a autopilot. So what is he gonna do? Does he have to take out his motor and paddle everywhere?
If your kayak is motor only and don't have no pedals, that's a paddle kayak. And I can make a good suggestion. I'll put a plug out here. Maybe reach out to Bending Branches. They sell some good paddles. So
you better get to work, Joshua.
Right?
So, I mean, the pedal drives. There's plenty of pedal drives out there. Yeah. There's the Flex drive.
There's going to be some fun events next year. I could release that one. Some of them I want to keep low. We have a bunch of fun stuff coming next year too. Again,
yeah.
I've seen in the past couple of years, the kayak bass fishing scene is just really, to me, aggressively in the West Coast. Actually, I would say probably all throughout the country. It's just really try to turn to this pro, like who's the more elite series, Yeah. And I think a lot of guys got away from the fun.
What do you mean got away from the fun?
Just enjoying it as a club, atmosphere, and instead of going out there, and I get it. Some guys are in it for the money and trying to win a good pot, and absolutely. But got to have the fun factor a little bit too,
Yeah, I feel that. That's why I was saying, like, you combining the SoCal. Well, I mean, you're gonna make an opens event, but how is the NorCal, SoCal, in Central Valley? How are they all gonna meet up and kind of, like mingle there? Have your, have like a social event or some sort of big event for all three areas? There's going to be a TOC for that?
Well, and so for the qualifying for the Angler of the Year, you'll have to fish a minimum 4 events. So if I have three events for each region, that's going to make you have to jump to another region to get that 4th one.
Oh, cool. That's a cool rule. So you have to travel once.
Yeah.
You're promoting it.
Yeah.
By doing that. That's cool. I like that idea.
So,
yeah. For those of you in NorCal that are not willing to travel SoCal, come on, guys.
Right?
Come on. I travel NorCal all the time.
So if a NorCal guy does his 3 lakes up there, and it's like, dang, I'm trying to be in contention for Angler of the Year, and I got to get one more lake in. He's going to have to look at the central region or the south region and figure out which one he may want to. He can fish all of them if he wants, but to get that 4th one to make you qualify for AOI, you're going to have to step into another region for at least one of them.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, there's some guys in the club that I met, just want to go down SoCal just for the women because they're attractive here, I guess.
Right.
But
well, it's like our tournament in Nacimiento. Few of us after the tournament Saturday, we're going down to Pismo Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. Let's see. I know I have more to it. what were the things you would like to see in your trail series, like compared to others? I know that we went over having 3 kayak series in all different regions, and you felt like some of the other organizations, there's a lack of
I
Central and SoCal. But is there
all I
anything
can
else that
say,
you want to see?
all I can say, I can't speak on other series and circuits,
Yeah.
but just to the other directors, um, and they may be doing it, but just in general, we just have to listen to our anglers, you know,
Hmm.
because if you do what you want solely just because that's what you feel like, same for like me, for instance,
Yeah.
and the anglers aren't liking it, but I'm going to say, no, this is how it's going to be. My foot's down. You guys are going to do it. That's going to put a bad taste in their mouth. And then the next season, they just
Hmm.
may say, you know what? He didn't really listen to us, or open up the door a little bit to other ideas, and they'll venture off.
Yeah.
These anglers are what are keeping this, kayak community going. And,
Yeah.
for the tournament scene, we have to be open ears to our anglers,
I respect that,
you
man.
know.
Amen to
So
that. Emoji. Emoji.
it's
Emoji.
I've ran car shows for about 8 years,
Yeah.
and I always listen to all my car enthusiasts when they come to car shows. Hey, Dave, would you try doing this? Would you try doing entries at this time? Would you try, when you do the war shows, doing this, doing that? I
Mhm.
always listen and try to adjust in ways I could if it was reasonable, you know.
Yeah.
So
So we talked about you talked about the juice already. You talked about how there's going to be an elite series, basically a Slay Nation um
so
kayak
basic,
series
yeah,
around the West Coast. Is
yeah.
that the bigger picture to make this big amongst the West
The
Coast?
elite series, what that's going to do is these pro guys, or I'm gonna, you know, you're a pro. You fish pro KBF. I'm saying
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I
I'm
I,
trying to
I know
I'm
what you
trying to
mean.
give these anglers more opportunities to travel different states, um, and not break the bank too much. But I know some of these guys could do it, and it's also the experience. They may not be able to fish the following season due to loss of work or something happen at home or something like that. So I am about at the moment. And if I could
Mhm.
provide that experience, where someone says, you know what, if it's far in advance on the schedule, they could plan a weekend with their family and say, we're going to Idaho, Shallow Lake. We're going to do a camping trip for the weekend, or maybe 3 or 4 days. And
Mhm.
the angler does their tournament the one day, and then he spends the other 3 or 4 days with his family and make a weekend of it and an experience. If they have kids, I'm trying to give that opportunity,
Mhm.
and then for the elites, you know not just to have it all in California, but if I could have the surrounding states that have good lakes, I'm gonna step over there and give those open series and give them an opportunity to go over, and
Yeah.
then those other states, hopefully they see some of our California anglers come over and intermix, and just have a good time.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and it'll give a chance for us California anglers get to know out of state anglers as well.
Absolutely. And
You
then
know.
there won't be membership cost.
Mhm.
So the way I look at it is, if I'm not going to charge you a membership for the opens, you're putting that money into the community that you're going to, that you're fishing at for that
Mhm.
lake. Um, you're putting money, into your travel costs and stuff like that, just to make it happen. I've told
Mhm.
my anglers the reason why I only charge $65 for our tournaments is I hold up $100 bill, and I always tell them, this $100 bill should cover your entry fee, your lake fee, and any other little expenses for that day.
Mhm.
You should be able to go fish a tournament for $100 for the like the blue collar type tournaments.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, make it almost feel like at home. Like
yeah,
you don't even have to like be serious on the water the whole entire
No,
time with $100.
for example, if you
Yeah.
want to go camping, the food
Mhm.
costs, the travel costs, especially here in California, gas
Yeah.
here, compared to the East Coast, we're about $2 to $3 more a gallon than what
Right.
they're used to.
Oh, you don't even gotta tell me. I'll tell you by experience.
Yeah.
I'll tell you by experience. It cost me, I don't know, $50, $60 for a full tank of gas. It probably take me probably 2 full tanks of gas, probably like $100 in gas, probably what is it? 120, 160 in camping,
Hmm.
probably $100 in food,
You're probably like at a $600 weekend or tournament fishing.
225, yeah, 225 for the buy-in all in.
Yeah.
And that's over $600
Yeah.
each event that I'm spending, and the time away from home,
Hmm.
making my girlfriend walk the dog, and in a bad neighborhood. I'm not even in a great
So
neighborhood.
you're spending $600 to fish a
Yeah.
tournament, and
Hmm.
then they're trying to tell their anglers, "I need you to do that 4 to 6 times a year."
Yeah.
That adds up.
Yeah, it
And
does.
so, a lot of my anglers, they're not monetarily sponsored,
Hmm.
so they don't have that money kicked down to them by sponsors.
Hmm.
Um, Again, I try to make it fun, make it enjoyable for these anglers to go out and have fun. Because the
Yeah.
other thing too is some of the guys, they do like the tournament fishing, but they
Hmm.
like the aspect that they're going to go out and hang with the other guys,
Right.
and have a
Not
good
just
time.
that, but I think there needs to be a stepping stone to an elite series.
Yeah,
And I feel like Slay Nation does that pretty well, because if it's gonna take less than $100, you don't mind gambling a little bit and go for a dub,
absolutely.
or
Yeah.
you don't, if you're, especially if you're a first timer into tournaments, it allows that 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid to jump in. He doesn't have all the bells and whistles. He's only wagering $100,
Yeah.
and he could test his ability against the best, like
Hmm.
Damien Tao, John Myers, and etc. And he could see where he's at to
Yeah.
gauge if he wants to maybe invest more and go to an elite series, Slay Nation series,
Yeah.
or a CA Bass Nation, or KPT, or
Hmm.
Hobie BOS, or Bassmasters, right? So I like the way you're going into this, because they're not going to wager a lot of money. It's not a lot of gamble compared to your other events.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
thing is too is with that, you don't wager a lot, but if you get the field bigger,
Hmm.
your small wager could actually pay off bigger because the more
Yeah.
people
What did
that
first place? What did first place get the last tournament
this
with
last
49
tournament, David
angles?
Morris got $1,200 for first place and 310,
1,200.
310 for big fish. So he
Oh,
walked
okay.
away with a $1,500 payday.
That's
So
not bad. 49 too,
yeah,
especially if you get more participants, like
that's what I'm saying. So
$1,300. Not
your
bad.
$65 wager, if the
Yeah.
field is bigger, is a good investment.
It's like 20 times.
Yeah.
You get 20
So
times.
first, second place ended up getting 750, and then
Hmm.
third place got 500.
What was second place? Who finished second place? Who finished third
That
place?
second place was Mike Lavoie, and
Mike
then
Lavoie.
third
Okay.
place was Peng Ying, and he got 500.
Hanging.
Yeah,
Nice. Oh, he got 500.
yeah, for third
He
place.
almost got 10 times his buy-in.
Yeah,
That's not bad at all, man.
yeah.
What about fourth and fifth?
The we only pay out first through third,
Okay.
and then we pay out for big fish.
But let's talk about the bubble. All right. So, like, I want to get my guys in. Like, let's get top 5 anglers in. Top 5.
Top
Let's
five,
get
let's
top
do it.
10. Let's do it. Let's get top 10 in. Go
So
ahead.
Don Pedro, you want
Yep.
to do top 10?
Let's do fourth all the way to 10th. I want
All
to
right.
shout out
Well,
these
I'll,
guys,
I'll
man.
start off. I'll go from 10th and up.
Okay.
So 10th place at Don Pedro was Juan Mendoza. He finished with 84 inches.
Damn. It took 84 inches to make the
Hey,
10th
so,
cut.
so hey,
Damn.
so we had 37. We had 37 limits. No, 38. We had 38 limits. 37th place finished with 70 inches.
Oh, wow.
It,
So
it was all
it was fishing way better than McClure. That's for sure.
I judged 320 fish that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 10th place, Juan Mendoza with 84 inches.
Yep.
9th place, Angel Sanchez with 86 inches.
Nice.
8th place, Joshua Bryant with 86 inches.
Nice. No easy feat. 86 inches. That's a decent bag.
Yeah. And that placed 8th. You know,
Yeah.
it was a good tough day. They were all catching fish.
It was a fun day to lose. That's what it was. Yeah.
Well,
But
I
mean that's
I
a
see
good
the fish coming
perspective
through.
thinking that.
I see
Yeah.
the fish coming through, and I kind of know who places where,
Yeah.
and then I see them come to the award ceremony.
Yeah.
And what's tough is when I hear them talking amongst each other, and they're like, "Yeah, I got 84 or 85 inches. I feel like I
Yeah.
should probably be in the top 5." And I'm like,
Oh no.
it's
Yeah.
hard because I'm
It's
like,
hard. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe some
But hey,
other.
guys, that do get 84, 85,
It's
86,
that's
that's
a good
a
limit.
good day.
Yeah,
That's a good day of fishing. So don't be
yeah,
discouraged.
yeah,
That's a winning bag over at McClure.
yeah,
Easy.
absolutely.
All
7th
right.
place, Leonardo Torres with 86 and a quarter.
Nice.
6th place, Max Lee, also with 86 and a
Joshua
quarter.
Bryant right here in the chats is saying rookie numbers.
Joshua, all right, you said rookie numbers. I'm gonna pull yours. Where you at, Joshua? All right,
Joshua Bryant's in the chats.
Joshua, 40th place with 59 and a quarter inches.
59 and a quarter. That sounds like you're at McClure, man.
But he had a good bag too.
AJ says, "Shut your mouth, Josh." All right, go ahead.
All righty. So
Where
where
are
are
we
we at?
at?
6th place was Max Lee. He also got 86 and a quarter, but
Good
his
job,
big
Max Lee.
fish put him in 6th place for his tiebreaker with Leonardo.
He's
Actually,
he's on the heater this year. Good for
yeah,
him.
man, he's won what, 2 kayaks. He's won a few tournaments. He's
Yeah.
won one of our tournaments, our live tournaments, and he's won our monthly. So
Yeah, you know what the cool thing about it is, like, I brought him on my podcast after he had like a couple like decent monthlies with KBF, not decent, like record breaking monthlies at KBF, and I was just like, why don't I interview this guy? Like, I haven't seen him on the tournament trail, but I need to interview this guy. And then after that interview, he's just been like wiping out everybody, winning boats, and it's been a crazy story for him.
I feel like when I turn off the leaderboard at noon,
yeah.
he does one of these. He's like, all right, let me pull out this 20 incher. Let me pull out this 19 and a half. Let me slap him with this 24 incher.
And then let me make myself a sandwich and head back and go back to the dock.
Yeah.
Very early.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me stop eating this peanut butter jelly sandwich. Hold on, guys. Here's a 22er. Here's a 22er.
Yeah. He should make a t-shirt of like him like holding up a 24-inch bass and then eating a freaking PB&J sandwich on his other hand. He should make a t-shirt for
and then it says on the bottom, get maxed.
Yeah.
Get maxed.
All right, so who's next?
He's a good guy. He's a good angler too.
He is.
5th place, also with 86 and a quarter, was Robert Yamamoto.
Okay, cool.
His big bass top Max Lee to go in 5th. And then
I see his name more often. His name's popping up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real good consistent. Actually,
yeah.
I just released our Angler of the Year update, and he's sitting in 2nd. He's right behind Max Lee.
And then who is his? And my boy, who's next?
So number 4,
yeah,
Salvador Arceo. He was 86 and a half inches.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3rd place, Peng Ying at 86 and 3/4. And in 2nd place, Michael Lavoie at 87 and a half.
Yeah.
And then David Morris in 1st place with 89 inches. His big fish was 20 and a quarter inches. And now this is his back-to-back victory. He won Eastman last month.
Sweet. Right on. So that's no easy feat.
Yeah, he's on a good little roll. And actually, McClure, he placed 3rd. So he's been placing pretty good.
Can you tell me who is in the top 5 for AOY?
AOY, let's do it. So number 5, we have Daigo. Number
Okay.
4, we have Pua Yang.
Let's go. Pua Yang. Pua
Number
Yang.
3, we
Yep.
have Gustavo Rojas.
Gustavo.
Number
Let's
2,
go.
Robert Yamamoto. And
Let's
number
go,
1 is
Robert.
Max Lee
Number 1, Max Lee.
currently.
Wait, so where's
David?
David? Yeah.
He is sitting, and this is without, we have 1 drop,
Yeah.
but that won't be pulled yet. So
Oh, I see.
he is sitting in, where you at, David? He is sitting in 9th. But
Oh, so with the drop, then
yeah,
things
with the
could
drop,
change.
he's gonna probably
Yeah.
make a jump.
That's it. That's determined on his next event, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's 1 drop.
1 drop.
Oh, okay.
For our AOY events, there's 7 of them, and
Yeah.
then if you fish all 7, there's going to be 1 drop. If you
Fish only
fish
6.
six or
no
less,
drops.
they will all count.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any requirement for getting your points? Like, do you have to just how do you earn points?
Well, how you earn your points is you have to show up the day of,
Okay.
and you have to fish a minimum half day of the
Oh,
tournament.
you have to fish half of the day.
Yeah. If you leave early, you won't get no points.
Okay.
Now, if you fish the full day and you get at least 1 fish, you'll get whatever points you get starting from 300s is for first place on down.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
1 point increments.
Yeah.
If you skunk, but
Yeah.
you fish the full day, you get the minimum 50 point participation.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you use Tourney X as a checkout, or do you do similar to
Tourney
Yak
X. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Dwayne's been
sweet,
pretty good.
man.
He's been helping me with a lot of stuff on Tourney X. And
who's
Dwayne?
fake?
Dwayne
Oh,
Wally with
okay.
Tourney X. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So he's been really good.
What's his last name?
Wally?
Dwayne
Yeah.
Wally. Okay, cool.
So he's from Mississippi. So he's a good guy.
Max Lee says he'll make that shirt, PB and J, and then the other one's a 24 incher. He'll make it. Someone have a shirt connect.
One holding the 24 inch and one holding the PB and J, and then right below Max, put on there say been maxed.
Yeah. Well, is there anybody that you want to thank before we conclude this podcast?
Obviously,
episode?
Z-Pro. You know, they're a big contributor to the series. There are presenting sponsors for the season overall for Slay Nation, and obviously, right here they power my kayaks. So
okay. Is there any recommendations that you want to give for certain electronics? What amp hour? What voltage?
You know, honestly, I use the 1210 right now for just my fish finder. I haven't used motors.
So you have a pretty low voltage fish finder then.
My Garmin always did pretty good on it. I had a 73 SV.
73 SV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it did good.
So like for you guys listeners, 73 SV, pick up a 12-volt 10 amp hour, that should be perfect enough. I think the amp draw on that's like probably 0.5 to 1 amp per hour.
Yeah, it's a low draw. Now, like guys that are gonna be getting, like the
new
NK 300s, or even the 180s. You want to get a 24 100. That.
Or 24
65. 24 60 or 65. Yeah. I think it's the 12 100.
Sweet.
That they have. But Z-Pro makes a good product. And then also I want to, thank Frankie with Slay Nation for believing in me to run the circuit. Good guy. We have our little chats here and there, and chalk it up and have good laughs. I'll be on his podcast tomorrow night. We'll have a couple of our winners from the tournament on there. I want to thank P-Line, Thomas over there at P-Line, real good supporter. Also with their sister company, First Gen Fishing. And then Michael and Ashley with Riverwise Fishing. And then X Zone Lures. We got with Riverwise, some of the products. If you guys go on riverwisefishing.com, and then X Zone Lures, they've been an awesome supporter. They send out products to get raffled off, and that's the other thing that's cool too is, I I try to give back to the anglers, and we have a raffle before we do our award ceremony, and it's a no cost raffle. We get products in and we just give it out to the anglers. However much we have, we'll give out. It's just kind of showing our little token of appreciation, saying thanks, and let's raffle off some products for you guys to get. So,
Right on.
um,
Well, thanks for
yeah,
coming on, Dave. I appreciate it.
good times.
Should we do a raffle today? I don't know.
Let's do it. Okay. Hold on.
How to give
Hold on. I got something here. All right, guys. You want to do a raffle? And what I'll do is I'm going to send 5 packages of soft bait lures from Riverwise Fishing. I'll let Dominic pick the winner. He'll supply me the address and the name, and I'll get them shipped out by beginning of next week.
Okay. All right. Let's do this real quick. I need to do this again, and I forgot how to do this.
Let's do it.
Hold on. We're gonna do this. Let's do. You know what? So what are you giving away? Let's just do one giveaway to one person.
Yeah, we'll do one giveaway. I'm going to give out 5 packs of Riverwise Fishing soft baits.
Okay.
And then just supply me their name and address after this, and I'll get you guys shipped out a 5-pack of Riverwise Fishing baits. And I'll reach out to Mike and Ashley, get those shipped out to you guys.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be a second giveaway. All right, I'm gonna pick twice. The first one's gonna be Dave giving away those plastics. The second giveaway, guys, I'm gonna give away my Boondocks lining gear, brand new. Ooh. Brand new. It's laying around. It's taking up room, and I want to give the respect to Dave's following that has tuned in, and I want to give respect for whoever tunes into my live.
We appreciate that.
I spend my own hard money on this Boondocks landing gear, and I've never used it, so I want to give it to someone that could actually use it. So yeah, we're gonna draw twice. So the hashtag is going to be right now is going to be Dave is the best. So put Dave is the best. So hashtag Dave is the best. Come on, guys. Throw in the hashtags. I don't see them yet.
They're like, nah, I can't.
they're like, we don't even want to draw.
They're like, nah, I can't put that.
Yeah, I can't put that.
I can't put that.
All right, we're gonna give you guys
the truth speaks.
We're gonna give you guys till 7:05 for this. Make sure it's one word too. Dave is the best.
They're putting hashtag Dom. You're lying. Dom,
one word. Hashtag Dave is the best. And this is for the plastics. Okay, guys, this is not for the Boondocks. The plastics. And I'm probably gonna use the same. I might use the same hash. No, we're just gonna put hashtag. I don't know. Hashtag Slay Nation for the next one.
I might feel juicy and give away something else.
Yay, man! If you wanna give something away, we should announce it right now and to 7:05. You guys have till 7:05 to put Dave is the best.
I just got these shipped in, so you guys can see. I'm opening right now. It's from our sponsors, Torridge Eyewear. I'm telling you right now.
Oh dang!
I'm gonna give away also. Let's do it.
Look at this ASMR. I can hear the package rattling and everything.
So these are new out of the bag. I just got them shipped in.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and raffle.
Oh, these are clean. Those are clean.
There you go.
Nice gray lenses. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. I like the color. I like the color of the frame.
Yeah. It's like that hunter green.
Yeah. Come on. More hashtags. Of course, it's polarized Joshua Williams.
Yes, they are.
Okay, we have less than a minute to draw for the plastics and the sunglasses, guys. Come on in. You can enter it once for that package, for Dave News package, and then just hashtag Slay Nation for the Boondocks wheels that I have right here, brand new. They're gonna be shipped in a random package though, because I threw away the package. All right, it's 7:05, guys. We're gonna do the draw. Let's do it. So hashtag Dave is the best. Let's share the screen. Present. Share screen. Let's see the giveaway tool. Sweet. We have it right here, guys. I'm just gonna refresh it one more time. Choose the broadcast and put hashtag Dave is the best. All right, we're gonna start collecting, and then we only have 9 entries, so let's do it. Gustavo Rojas. All right, guys. So Gustavo Rojas, go ahead and DM Max Limit Outdoors on either Instagram. Is that okay? Instagram?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably reach out to him.
Yeah.
He's one of my anglers.
Yep. And if he doesn't reach out to you, just remind him on Instagram, and you're gonna be the winner. But let's do till 7:08. We're gonna draw in 2 minutes for the Boondocks wheels. Okay, guys. All right.
So this one's hashtag Slay Nation.
Yep. Hashtag Slay Nation, guys. Hashtag Slay Nation. Come on.
Hashtag Slay Nation. Let's do it.
Come on. Dave has to be somewhere. So hurry it up. You know what I like about my giveaways is that I don't advertise that I'm doing a giveaway for the show. So it's like whoever just voluntarily with their own time decides to show up to the show. There could be one, or there could not. Maybe there's not one, you know?
That's rewarding them for
participating just for like voluntarily coming, you know?
Yeah, because some podcasts or whatever, they'll be like announce it a week in advance. We're gonna give away this.
Yeah, exactly. You know? But I could see there's more viewers coming because I announced the giveaway. But I mean, they're great.
Texting their buddies. They're like, dude, get on right now.
Get on, bro. Boondocks giveaway.
Yeah.
All right. Is it 7:08 yet? What are you gonna watch? Is there a game today? The Miami and the Celtics, or who is it?
Was it their game 5?
Game 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you watching that tonight?
I'll probably hop on and check it out. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's see who's the winner of this game. Okay. Are we sharing now? Hold on. Let me share again. All right. Let's refresh. I'm going to choose the broadcast, and we're going to put hashtag Slay Nation. You know what? We're not even going to exclude the winners. We're going to count Rojas in this again. Let's start collecting, guys. We got 10 entries. Let's go ahead and draw. Who is the lucky winner? Eric Wynn Montano.
There you go.
Hey, Eric, you know what? The next time we meet up, you're just gonna have to pick it up, or you pick it up from my house, because
he's a SoCal angler, right?
Yeah, he's close to me. He's my buddy. Yeah. He's part of Kayak Ditch Day. So
all right,
the next time I see him, he is a winner of the Boondocks wheels. I don't know what he's gonna do with it because he has some, but he's a winner of this.
There you
go.
So
come pick it up, Eric. No, I'm just kidding. We'll meet up sometime. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on.
And I'm glad that we had some time to talk before an event. I don't know which event I'll be fishing, but I am signed up for the monthly.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I think New Maloney's is going to be a good one. So I don't know if you've seen, I extended the time a little bit. This one's going to be a long tournament, a long day.
What
but
do you mean? How many hours of fishing is it?
9.5.
Oh, so we get to run because it's a shotgun, right?
No, this one I'm allowing you guys to check in earlier. I'm doing the check in early,
Hmm.
and then once you guys check in, you guys can launch at 5 o'clock on your own, and the line's in at 5:30. So you
Oh,
guys can get,
really?
yeah, so you guys can get going. So I'm giving guys opportunity because this time of the year, especially new Maloney's, I
Yeah.
know some guys want to try to hit that top water.
Hmm.
So I'm giving that opportunity.
Is
So
it open launch too?
it won't be open line. It'll be from Tuttletown.
Oh, okay. So one
So,
launch.
but they won't have to wait for me. At 5 o'clock, they could just
Okay.
go ahead and start heading out if they're still setting up their kayak or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. One
There's more
launches at 5.
in
Lines
line.
in is at 5:30.
Yeah,
As soon as 5:30 hits, do they got 9.5 hours of fishing time
from that time. Yeah,
from that time? Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's a lot of time. Things
So
will be interesting. All
yeah.
right. Cool, cool.
So I
All
think
right,
there's
again. Thanks
yeah, I
again,
appreciate
Dave.
it.
I appreciate it. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you guys weren't able to listen to the whole entire thing, you could either play back this video on YouTube or Facebook, or check out my podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Okay. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Appreciate it.